My siblings' family announced at our holiday gathering, claiming my savings, labeling me useless, and everyone agreed. I nodded politely and walked away. 3 days later, my phone was flooded with their frantic messages. I never imagined I'd share this here, but after what unfolded at our family's Christmas, I need to unload. This might be lengthy, but I'm still grappling with it all. You know that feeling when you enter a room and conversation stops abruptly? That's how my Christmas began. I arrived at my mother's house at 10 a.m., as she'd instructed, only to find everyone else had been there for hours. Wrapping paper littered the floor around the tree, breakfast plates were being cleared, and my brother Adam's son, Caleb, was engrossed in his new gaming console. The first warning sign was that they hadn't waited, despite Mom's clear instructions. This was our first Christmas without Dad, who passed in September, and everything felt unbalanced. Mom embraced me warmly, but her smile seemed forced. My sister-in-law, Sophia, barely glanced up from her phone, muttering, "Oh, you're here," as if I were an uninvited guest. I placed my gifts near the tree, brushing off the tension. Caleb, sweet kid, was genuinely excited to see me, rushing over to show off his new gaming system. He's always been a highlight at family events. But Adam interrupted. "Don't bug Uncle Daniel, he wouldn't get this stuff anyway. Too caught up in whatever he does." The jab was obvious. I've built a solid career working remotely for a software firm, traveling when I choose. Dad always backed my unconventional path, unlike Adam's traditional route. But since Dad's passing, the remarks about my lifestyle have grown sharper. Things spiraled at lunch. Mom prepared Dad's classic holiday roast, her first attempt since he passed, and the table was unusually silent until Sophia broke the quiet. "So, Daniel, anyone special in your life? You're getting older. It's time to settle down. Caleb could use some cousins." Before I could respond, Adam added, "He's too busy playing the lone wolf. No spouse, no kids, no real purpose, right?" He chuckled, but it stung. The way others nodded or avoided my gaze suggested this wasn't their first discussion about me. I stayed calm, focusing on my plate. "My life's pretty fulfilling, actually. I'm content with my choices." "Fulfilling how?" Sophia pressed, setting her fork down. "Working on a laptop all day, staying in empty hotels? That's not living, it's just drifting. You're wasting your potential. Your dad would have wanted—" "Don't tell me what Dad wanted," I snapped, sharper than I meant. The table went still. Mom tried redirecting to New Year's plans, but Adam pushed on. "No, we need to address this. The will reading's next week, and we need to be practical." He leaned in, acting like he was imparting wisdom. "You've got all this cash saved, no obligations, while we're working to give Caleb a great life. It's not right." Mom's guilty expression caught my eye. She wouldn't look at me. "What do you mean, practical?" I asked, sensing the truth. Sophia's tone turned syrupy. "We've had costs. Caleb's private school, the home upgrades Dad promised to cover before he, we borrowed against what we expected from the will." My stomach churned. "Borrowed? From where?" Silence. Then Mom whispered, "Your share, sweetheart. They needed it. You've got so much saved, and they have a family to consider." I felt winded. "You took my inheritance without asking?" "Borrowed," Adam corrected, as if that softened it. "And really, what were you going to do with it? You're just a burden on this family. No ties, no one relying on you, just coasting while we handle real duties." Everyone nodded, even Mom, though she looked pained. Only Caleb seemed uneasy, staring at his plate. I stood slowly, my chair scraping. They probably expected a fight. Instead, I smiled. "Thanks for the meal, Mom. I've got to go." "Don't be so dramatic," Sophia started, but I was already leaving. I heard Adam mutter about me dodging conflict. I drove home in a fog. My phone lit up with messages, mostly Mom, urging we talk as a family, and one from Adam telling me to grow up. I ignored them and called Dad's lawyer, leaving a voicemail. Tomorrow, I'd find out what they meant by borrowing and what they'd done with my inheritance. The worst part? I kept replaying Dad's last talk with me, a week before he died. He made me promise to look after the family, but also to hold my ground. I thought he was delirious from meds. Now I wondered if he saw this coming. I'm not sure what's next, but I can't let this slide. Not just for the money, but for what it means. They want to talk about responsibility? Let's talk. My phone's still buzzing. I'll let it ring for now. Thanks for the overwhelming support on my last post. I didn't expect it. The last 48 hours have been intense, and I'm still piecing it together. What I uncovered is worse than I thought. Yesterday, I met Dad's lawyer, Mr. Thompson. He wasn't shocked to see me, which tipped me off that something was wrong. "I figured you'd call," he said, pulling out a thick file. "Your father anticipated this." Dad knew everything. Mr. Thompson showed me loan documents with my forged signature. 7 of them, siphoning money from my inheritance trust over the past year. The total? $297,000. The forgeries were sloppy, but they'd worked. Then he revealed Dad's revised will, written 2 weeks before his death. "Your father updated this after a troubling talk with Adam," he said, showing bank records. Adam and Sophia were broke, buried in debt. Caleb's private school, unpaid for months. Their home upgrades, financed by maxed-out credit cards. They'd been living a lie, using Dad's illness to access funds. My phone kept buzzing during a break. 29 missed calls, 17 voicemails, countless texts. "Adam, you're being selfish. Caleb's future is on the line." Sophia, "Your dad would be disappointed in you." Mom, "Please, let's work this out. They're family." Caleb's message hit hardest. "Uncle Dan, I'm sorry about Christmas." Mom and Dad were wrong. That kid's only 12, but sees more clearly than his parents. Mr. Thompson shared Dad's genius move. The revised will required all unauthorized loans to be repaid before anyone could claim their full inheritance, with me overseeing the repayment. "Your father trusted your judgment," he said, showing me Dad's handwritten note. "Daniel knows the worth of money and duty more than they realize. He'll do what's right." Then came another shock. "There's more," Mr. Thompson said, revealing Adam had tried last month to have me declared financially incompetent to seize my entire share. That explained the jabs about my lifestyle. They were laying groundwork. As I left, Sophia left a shaky voicemail. "We need to talk. Caleb's school is threatening to expel him if we don't pay by next week. Please, we can sort this out." I sat in my car rereading Dad's note. He warned, "They'll guilt you, call you selfish." True duty means making hard calls for the right reasons. Then he added, "Check the shed at the old house behind the toolboxes for something you'll need." I went to Mom's house, empty, thankfully. In the shed behind the toolboxes was a fireproof box. The code was my birthday. Inside, another letter, USB drives, and a ledger detailing every loan Adam took, not just from me, but from Dad, too. The sums were staggering. Dad's letter began, If you're reading this, they've gone too far. This will protect you and teach them. My phone buzzed, a text from Mom. They're coming tomorrow. Please come. We need to resolve this as a family. I looked at the box's contents, then Dad's note. Its final line. Sometimes love means standing firm. You're tougher than they know. Tomorrow's meeting will be something. I've sent copies to Mr. Thompson for safekeeping. I'm done being the family doormat, but I'm not out for blood. Dad trusted me to handle this fairly, and I will. Caleb texted, "You coming tomorrow?" I hope so. Someone's got to tell the truth. That's the message I'm holding on to. I'll update after the meeting. It's going to be a game changer. I should have known something was up when I arrived at Mom's and saw 4 cars in the driveway. Adam didn't just bring Sophia, he brought backup. Our Aunt Clara, Uncle Tom, and their accountant friend sat in the living room like a tribunal. Adam's opening line set the stage. "Glad you're here. Let's fix the chaos you're causing this family." I almost chuckled. This was their strategy? Mom lingered anxiously by the kitchen, clutching a napkin. Sophia sat primly on the sofa, dressed like she was heading to a boardroom. Caleb was absent, likely sent away to avoid the tension. I took Dad's old recliner by the window. It felt grounding. I stayed silent, waiting. Adam hates quiet. It rattles him. Sure enough, he started talking. "We've discussed this," he said, gesturing to the group. "You're missing the bigger picture. Dad's will is creating unnecessary stress. We have a solution." Their accountant friend presented papers from the firm handling Mom's mortgage. Their plan. Restructure the inheritance so they'd get their full shares immediately, plus temporary control of mine for better asset management. In exchange, they'd repay the loans in 6 years. I let them finish. Then I pulled out Dad's ledger. Before we continue, let's discuss the Pine Ridge property. The room froze. Aunt Clara studied her tea. For context, Pine Ridge was Dad's rental property. 3 units, fully paid, steady revenue left to Mom. Or so everyone thought. "That's irrelevant," Adam said too fast. I flipped to a marked page. "Is it? Because this shows you took a second mortgage on it 9 months ago, using Mom's power of attorney while Dad was hospitalized. Did you tell her?" Mom's napkin hit the floor. "What's he talking about?" "It was temporary," Sophia interjected. "We needed funds for an investment. It's handled." "Handled?" I turned to their accountant. "Is that why it's in pre-foreclosure?" Mom's sobs broke the silence, raw, wrenching cries. "My units?" she gasped. "Brooks and I bought those for our retirement." Adam glared at me. "You had no business digging into private matters?" "Private? Like forging my signature on loans? Or the 4 credit cards in Mom's name?" Silence. The accountant started packing up. "That's different," Adam said, his voice cracking. "We were safeguarding the family's future. You wouldn't understand. You just wander, no responsibilities, while we lost $600,000 in crypto trading," I cut in. "Borrowed against every asset, drained Caleb's college fund." Sophia stood. "You self-righteous? At least we're building something. What do you have? Empty rentals? Meaningless travel photos?" "I have no debt," I said calmly. "And Dad's trust." A small voice came from the staircase. "Is it true about my college fund?" Caleb sat there, gripping his phone. He'd heard everything. "Sweetie, go upstairs," Sophia said, but Caleb interrupted. "I recorded it all. Uncle Dan's telling the truth, isn't he?" Chaos erupted. Sophia crying, Adam shouting, Mom still weeping. Clara and Tom slipped out. The accountant handed me his card. He'd been warning the family about Adam's schemes. Caleb sat beside me, quietly claiming the armrest of Dad's chair. It meant everything. When the yelling subsided, I presented Dad's revised will with the repayment terms. "Here's the plan," I said. "Pine Ridge goes into trust to halt foreclosure. Mom's credit cards are canceled. Caleb's remaining college fund is locked until he's 18. And you two," I looked at Adam and Sophia, "start mandatory financial counseling next week." "Or what?" Adam sneered. "Or I take these forged documents to the authorities." More silence. Mom, voice raw, asked, "Can the units be saved?" "Yes," I said. "Dad left enough to cover it, but Adam and Sophia must agree to the terms." I handed out the repayment plan. My phone buzzed. A text from Mr. Thompson. "Your dad would be proud. Meeting tomorrow to finalize." Caleb spoke up. "Dad, just sign it. I don't want to show everyone what you did." Adam paled. The recording. Sophia signed, then Adam, his hand trembling. As I drove home, messages poured in. Adam's threats, Mom's apologies, a long text from Caleb asking to stay with me for a bit. Tomorrow, we finalize with Mr. Thompson. But this feels far from over. Adam's too proud, Sophia's too desperate, and decades of family patterns need unraveling. At least the truth is out, even if they hate it. It's been 2 weeks since my last post, and I waited until everything was settled to share this. What happened wasn't just closure. It was the collapse of Adam's carefully crafted illusion. Some might call it fate. I call it accountability. The morning after our meeting, Adam tried to drain Mom's accounts. He didn't know I'd frozen them the night before. His attempt triggered a fraud alert and an investigation. Dad's foresight was flawless. Those USB drives from the shed, years of recorded talks, every loan, lie, and manipulation. The final one, from Dad's hospital bed, showed Adam pressuring him to sign over power of attorney while barely conscious. Mr. Thompson helped me execute the plan. We submitted the forged signatures to the authorities and exposed the credit card fraud. Adam's expression when investigators arrived at his workplace was, per a colleague's emailed footage, unforgettable. Sophia tried to spin a sob story to their social circle, but the accountant friend had his own evidence of their investment scam. When he shared it, their friends abandoned them instantly. Caleb's school situation resolved unexpectedly. He sent his recordings to the school board, securing emergency aid and sparking an investigation into Adam and Sophia's fake tax-deductible donations. Mom saw their true nature when Adam tried to blame her for the loans and cards. I played Dad's final video, recorded days before his death, exposing Adam's years of deceit. Pine Ridge, saved and restructured. Mom's retirement, protected. Caleb's college fund, restored and quadrupled thanks to Dad's hidden investment account for Caleb, unknown to Adam. Aunt Clara confessed she'd covered for Adam because he'd blackmailed her with fake tax fraud evidence. Her emails revealed his manipulation of every relative. The fallout was swift. Adam's firm suspended him. Their country club membership was canceled for charging thousands to others' accounts, and their mansion is in foreclosure. Their social circle cut them off, and 3 friends sued over the scam. Sophia's attempt at a public victim statement failed when Caleb leaked group chat screenshots of her planning to exploit more relatives. They're moving to a small apartment soon. Caleb's staying with me temporarily, with legal support from Mr. Thompson's contacts. The court took interest in Adam's threats against Caleb. Mom's healing. Yesterday, we found a letter from Dad in his old office. Sometimes the kindest act is letting someone face their consequences. Rock bottom builds better foundations. Family dynamics have shifted for good. Most relatives have distanced themselves from Adam and Sophia. Mom's Sunday dinners are quieter, free of their shadow. Caleb's thriving, better grades, real friends, and he wants to study finance to help people, not harm them. I bought Pine Ridge from Mom at market value, turning it into affordable housing, with a rule barring Adam or Sophia from renting. Petty? Perhaps. Gratifying? Definitely. Dad's final words echo, "Son, sometimes love means letting them lose what they stole to find something real." Adam and Sophia face investigations, lawsuits, and social exile. Their house of lies didn't just crumble, it burned. I documented every step. The family thinks I'm done. They're mistaken. I've secured a trust for Caleb they can't touch. Every cent they stole will be repaid, with interest, via wage garnishment if needed. Their reputation is ruined, not by gossip, but by their own actions. Sometimes the best justice isn't watching someone fall. It's ensuring they can't rebuild their lies. Caleb's with me through the school year. Last night he asked to frame Dad's letter in his room, to remind me doing right matters more than looking right. Dad's legacy lives on, just not through the son everyone expected. Thank you for watching Story. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more real-life stories.